Park the lens assembly out of the way so that you can easily access mugs in and out of the unit. Got the rotary attachment plugged in, powered up the machine. Initializing the carriage upon boot up with the rotary attachment plugged in. This exercise is to demonstrate the ability to park the lens assembly out of the way while you're doing the rotary job with mugs in the attachment to make it easier for clearance issues. Now I have set my park position for the lens back about 2.5 inches behind the rotary attachment. I'll demonstrate how I set that up. So with the rotary plugged in, we go to the gear, then we go to the gear here, and here you'll see the rotary. Touching the rotary allows us to change the auto park position. By default from the factory that is off, but you can turn that to on. Once that is turned on, you'll come down to the park position, and it allows you to change these numbers based on where you want that lens assembly to be defined as your park position. So I have that set to about 2.5 inches back out of the way. So with that set, that allows us to now jog using the jog menu here, this button here. With the rotary plugged in, now we have some buttons to define and look at. So once you have your auto park distance set up, when you boot the machine, it is going to boot up or initialize to its park position. Now this button right here, center rotary, will move the lens assembly over the rotary fixture in the middle. That is its center rotary button. We'll notice the name of that button changed to park rotary. If we touch that, then that goes back to the park position. Center rotary, center of the attachment. Park rotary to the park position. Now moving on to another button is called the park axis. When we touch the park axis, that will move that to the home position of our rotary attachment. Similar to the center rotary, but this is the default home position. But the same is true. If I push park axis, it's going to stay right where it is in that home position. But if we do park rotary, that's going to go back to the park position with the rotary. Park axis goes to the home position. Park rotary parks out of the way. Next, we're going to look at the reset button, because in this scenario of what we have set up, if I touch the reset button, that goes also to the home position. But unlike the park axis button, the reset will go back to the park position as well. So reset when it's in park will go to the home position, but reset from the home position will move it to its park position. One of the common uses of the rotary attachment and using the super easy to use centering button is this right here. So what we're going to do is turn on our red dot pointer, and I'm going to go reset. And that allows us to use the jog feature and jog the red dot out over the center of the mug, or let's say the center of where we want that engraving area to go. Now, at this point, the centering button is at 0 from its home position, but when we touch this, that now changes the values. So this is now the center of our engraving area. So with that being the center of our engraving area there, now watch what happens as we use our park rotary. With a centering home positioned here, now we've got numbers here, we're going to do park rotary. And that moves it back to that park, almost 2.5 inches, park out of the way. If I touch center rotary, it's going to the center of that home position. Not the temporary home that we set, but the factory home position. Now, let's touch park rotary again. That park's out of the way. Now remember, we still have the centering point set here. So I'm going to push reset. That went to that home position from the factory. Now let's push park axis. So park axis is that button that moves that lens assembly over the home position, or let's say temporary home position we set up here. So park rotary goes to a park position, and park axis parks the axis in that last known temporary home position. Reset clears that out, or let's say moves that back to that 2.5 y-axis home position. Center rotary or park axis. So that's what you can use to park the machine, park the lens assembly out of the way so that you can easily access mugs in and out of the unit. And go back to park axis. Then you're ready for the next mug. Hope that helps.